Hey Pony Pals, it's Emma from Paint Pony Studios, and today we have two Scotties to open up. So we're not exactly sure what variations we've gotten yet because I haven't opened these. They just arrived today on our doorstep. And so we're either looking at the Pinto, the Appaloosa, or the Silver Dapple Bay. They're variations that are supposed to look like old connoisseur models or special runs. Like Uncalled For would be the Silver Bay, Jazz Fusion is the Pinto, and then Burbank is the Appaloosa. So we have no idea what ones we've gotten yet, but out of those three, that's what we could potentially be getting. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of a background, last year at Breyer Fest they actually premiered this horse in 4 different color variations. The Appy, Pinto, Silver Bay, and then a Dun. And Collector Club members were allowed to go online and vote for what color they liked the best. So actually, when I saw these at Breyer Fest last year, I voted for the Appy. I think the Appy is probably my favorite, but I was really torn between the Pinto and the Appy, so we'll see what we get today. Do this one first. And everybody that I've seen online who has theirs already is very happy with all 3 variations. So I'm glad that Breyer has decided to not just ship them in these boxes. They have done that in the past where they've shipped them in these really tiny boxes. Thankfully they've packed them in something a little bit bigger, because I know some people were complaining about getting damaged horses in the mail. So our first Scotty is the Appaloosa. Okay, now I'm really excited to see this, because this one was my favorite, and I remember seeing these at Breyer Fest, and we weren't allowed to touch. You know, they have them out for you to look at, but not to touch. Lots of packing on this guy, very nice. Now, I'm not a fan of the original Burbank, who this is based on. Burbank, the original pattern was on the Nakota mold, and I believe it was for the Velvet Rope event. I don't think it was best suited to the Nakota mold. I think that it looks much better on this guy, who is pretty flawless from what I can tell. I know some people were having problems with one ear being larger than the other. That's only faintly apparent here. It's not that big of a deal to me. I really am loving his dapples. He's got some really nice dapples in with the roning. A little bit of extra plastic on the tail, but it's not that big of a deal. Really clean markings, face and everywhere, and actually his little smut spots, or Bendor spots with the roning, I'm popping above there, look really good. So if we can see him here, do a little bit of a turnaround. And I will make sure to include pictures of both of these guys at the end of the video so that you guys can see them more closely, because there is a lot of detail packed into this little classics model. So awesome, our first one is the Appy. I wonder what the second one is going to be. I'm kind of fingers crossed for the paint. I'd hate to get 2 of the same one, but there is the Appy. Alright, now let's look at this one. And I don't think, there are packing slips that come with these, but I don't believe that the color is actually stated on the packing slip. And for the sake of not spoiling it for myself, I'm not going to look and make sure. But here we go, second one. There's a little bit of damage to the box, but I don't think it's going to affect our horse. And we have the Silver Bay. So we did get 2 different ones. Now this is probably the one that I've seen the least of. I wasn't a big fan of the original Uncalled For either. If you know Uncalled For, it's the Silver Bay, same markings as the same color on the strapless mold. But I'm also not the biggest fan of the strapless mold in the first place. So I think this guy definitely suits the color better. Same with the Appaloosa one. I really like the gloss though. I'm happy that the Appy isn't in the gloss, but I think that this little guy looks really nice in gloss. And look at that precious face. I love giant snips that go over both nostrils and kind of like end up in a little point. But he is super cute. I'll move the bubble wrap so we can get a little bit of a closer view. Do a little turnaround in front of the camera for you. Some people were complaining about overspray on his mane and tail. This one doesn't have any of that. We lucked out really nicely. Markings are really crisp. Eyes are painted well. And he doesn't have the problem with the ears being different sizes either. No gloss flaws that I can see either. And I think that this color really suits this mold nicely. And I'll make sure to get pictures of him too. So here we go. 2 Scotties. The Silver Bay and the Appaloosa. I'll take a lot of photos to make sure you guys get to see every angle of them before we put both of them in inventory. So make sure to leave a comment. Which Scotty's your favorite? Is it the Silver Bay? Is it the Appaloosa? Or is it the paint, the one based on Jazz Fusion that we didn't happen to get this time around? Leave this video a like if you like the content. Share it with your friends. Make sure to check out our Facebook page or our website to do our inventory or pick one of these guys up. Don't forget to leave, send me an email or what have you if you would like one of these guys. But be quick because I'm sure they'll go fast. So see you in the next video, Ponytails. Bye!